Okay, Ali Moreno, let's talk a little bit of Kylian Mbappe. Should he stay or should he go? That's kind of the dilemma facing Paris Saint-Germain right now, because he said he's not going to stay once his contract expires. So I'm going to make you the boss of PSG, and you have to decide, is he staying and you're going to let him run his contract down and leave for nothing, or are you trying to sell him now? What say you, Ali?
Well, first of all, thank you, Kylian Mbappe, for allowing us to have a platform and have something to talk about in what usually is a dead period. So I appreciate it, you coming up with content for us. Now, in terms of me being the boss at PSG, there would be many things that I would need to address, but let's just focus on Kylian Mbappe.
Okay.
I don't think that it is a coincidence that Kylian Mbappe puts this information out there and says, hey guys, that whole contract renewal and extension is just not happening. I've been around this game for a very long time, both on the field and off the field, to understand that coincidences do not happen when it comes to contract negotiation. So think about the sequence of events. Karim Benzema decides to go to Saudi Arabia. This is about a couple of weeks ago. And now, Kylian Mbappe, about 10 days later or so, he says, contract negotiation and contract renewal and extension, not happening. Apparently, there's a hole left at Real Madrid, and there's a player who perhaps wants to leave his current situation at PSG and may just want to jump to Real Madrid. Is it a coincidence? I don't think so. So the fact that Kylian Mbappe is pushing this out there, I do believe that it is an effort on his part. Whether it's a transparent effort or not, it's an effort nonetheless to say, guys, I'm out of here. You need to cash on me. And so I go back to your initial question. If indeed I'm the boss at PSG and I'm looking at my club and I'm looking at the big picture, I have to say, right, if Mbappe is out of here, then this is a complete rebuild. We're starting from scratch. And it may just be what we need as a club, that we need to start from scratch. That it's not so much about building around the superstar, the superhero, but actually putting a team together. And if indeed that's the direction that we're going, then we got to go all in on that, knee deep, elbow deep. We can't do half measures anymore because it hasn't worked so far. We went for the spectacular, that didn't work. And so if I'm thinking about a big plan, a major plan, a major rebuild, I say to myself, what can I do with Kylian Mbappe? Well, I got to sell him. And I got to sell him at a price that perhaps may not be ideal for us, but it would be realistic because now the market knows full well that either we sell him now at a discount price or we lose him for nothing next year. First decision I need to make is, am I making a major rebuild? And if that's the decision that I'm going with, then in terms of major rebuild, Kylian Mbappe will not be a part of that. I would sell him, get some sort of profit, anything, something that would allow me to then help the next phase of my rebuild. Once I come up with those decisions, then I think every decision after that becomes a little bit easier to make.
Ever since he was a superstar teenager coming through the ranks at Monaco, it seems like it's been a case of when, not if, he'll join Real Madrid one day. Do you think that is still the case? When and not if he joins Real Madrid one day?
Well, he was certainly flirting, and I mean flirting, with Real Madrid last summer. It feels like we were having this discussion last summer.
Yeah.
And it also felt like he had used Real Madrid to angle a better deal with PSG, which I didn't really think would be ideal for Real Madrid, nor would make them feel all that great about the player, that they were used essentially as a tool to get himself a better deal. But if you're Real Madrid and given your current circumstances and you see that Karim Benzema, he gone, and you were pursuing Harry Kane, but apparently that's not happening, you weren't really thinking that Kylian Mbappe was just going to fall in your lap. And that's exactly what has happened here. It's almost as if Kylian Mbappe has said, I tried it at PSG. That's not working for me. I thought I was making all the decisions. I thought that all these promises that were made to me were going to happen, and they didn't. And so my future is not with PSG. I need to go and find that future somewhere else. Where could that future be? Again, as I mentioned before, where is there a hole? Real Madrid. And what club wants me? Real Madrid. And where do I want to go? Real Madrid. So when you put all the pieces together, it becomes very 2 + 2 is 4. And we can look for other options here, and we can look for potentially other outcomes, but it feels like the player is pushing for a move. It feels like PSG now are in a position which they have to make a decision. Do we get something for the player, or do we not? And if we do, is it going to be at a discount price? And then Real Madrid sitting back saying, well, I guess it was us all along. He was always coming to us. I don't know how this has worked. We've taken the scenic route to get here, but we're getting here nonetheless.
Initially, we were kind of given a list of teams. Discuss how he would fit in if he went here, there, or wherever. There's only a small amount of teams that he would potentially go to that could afford him. I'm not going to do that. I'm going against producers' orders because I want to focus on Real Madrid. Okay?
Controversy.
Well, when Ali Moreno says 2 + 2 = 4, that means it's happening. Okay, that to me, that's as good as an Ali guarantee as I'm going to get. So, if it does happen, can Real Madrid get back to Galacticos days? Can they have Bellingham? Can they have Mbappe? Can they have Kane? Can they have all three? Or does some creative accountancy need to happen for that to happen?
Well, let me, so that the producers don't get really mad with us. I'm gonna work with what I think are the two options here.
Okay.
Real Madrid would seem to be the logical option and would seem to be the most likely outcome. The other option here is that we go back to the initial question. If I'm the boss at PSG and I'm taking orders from somewhere else, and I'm being told essentially, no, he's not going anywhere. Kylian Mbappe is not going anywhere. He's got a year left on his contract, and we're going to do everything we can to convince him that by the end of that year, he is going to be in a position where he wants to stay at PSG, and we're going to go all in with him, and we're going to build a team around him, and we're going to promise the world to him. And that's going to be enough because we are PSG, and there's no way that Kylian Mbappe can walk out of the door and go somewhere else. So those are the two options. Either you cut your losses if you're PSG, you understand that you have to go in a different direction, that you have to rebuild, that you have to completely start from zero and get away from this superstar, super duper team that never really did work out. Or if you are PSG, you then say, no, we live and die, and we die in this hill right here with Kylian Mbappe, and he's got to be our guy. We got to build around him, and we're going to convince him otherwise. I don't think there's convincing Kylian Mbappe anymore. I think in making this announcement or in sending this information to PSG and making this public, you're essentially saying, guys, it's been great. Look, I've done my best. You've tried. I've tried. It's not working out. I'll see you later. So again, that's why I think Real Madrid is the most likely outcome. Yeah. The other outcome is him staying at PSG. If he goes to Real Madrid, to answer your question eventually, I'm going to get there, Mark, and believe me, I did not forget you. I don't think that this is a Galactico per se situation. This is a rebuild from Real Madrid, and it's a transition that has been happening, and it was happening right in front of our eyes during this season, in which now Toni Kroos and Luka Modric were no longer playing together all the time. That we're seeing Camavinga, that we're seeing Tchouaméni, that we're seeing Dani Ceballos, that we're seeing a combination of players, Fede Valverde also talking into that sort of position. And now they've made their signing, Jude Bellingham, who is going to be a central piece for that team for a decade. Yep. If everything that we know about Bellingham continues to happen and he continues to develop and grow in the manner in which he has so far as a player, let me tell you something. Real Madrid fans are going to love this guy. And so you're seeing the actual transition happening. And so Toni Kroos eventually is going to miss out on minutes, and Luka Modric eventually is going to miss out on minutes. And it's a lot of moving parts, and it's not easy to do because we're talking about legends of the game, if you will, and legends of the club, and very, very successful players for Real Madrid. But you need to see this transition in order for Real Madrid. You need to see this transition happening quickly in order for them to now take the jump to be sort of the next phase of what their club is going to be. And whether that's Jude Bellingham and whether that includes Kylian Mbappe or not, that's also going to include Vinny Jr., it's going to include Rodrigo, it's going to include Fede Valverde, and now the list goes on and on. I don't know if it's a Galacticos situation as much as it is the natural transition of a team. The problem is that it's happening right there in front of us, and it's a big stage because it doesn't get any bigger than Real Madrid.
Let's wrap this up with one final question. I simply need a yes or a no. When the transfer window closes, the summer transfer window closes, is Kylian Mbappe a Real Madrid player? Yes or no?
You know, it's not yes and no, right?
Ah, man.
But the answer is yes.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.